Hey guys, what's up? I'm Rosie and I'm going to do a quick Q&A so you can get to know a little bit more about me and my journey to Songland. I was born and raised on St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, beautiful island, to Randolph and Gloria Lockhart. My dad was a minister and my mom was an educator and musician. My parents were probably one of my biggest influences when it comes to music. It's something that, we always did. My siblings are also musically inclined, so it's just something that's always been with me. As far as I can remember, I have always, quote unquote, made music. I know there's like a home video of me when I was like 3 or 4 years old, just like running around the house in my mom's heels, and I was just making up some song, just singing. So in that sense, I've always, made music. I wrote poetry as a teenager, just growing up in my personal diary, and would always like write songs. I played a little bit of piano. So that was around the age that I started making music, always made music. Professionally, when I went off to college around like 17, I recorded, did some studio recording, wrote with some reggae artists in Florida where I went to college. And just, always sort of was in music, but not necessarily pursuing it professionally. I think that the ability to create is something that we all sort of have innately, and so I don't think that I chose to be an artist. I think that it chose me, so to speak. It's something that has followed me no matter, there was a time that I walked away from music and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. There was a time that I did walk away from, music as a whole, right? When I moved to Los Angeles, I didn't do music. I didn't do anything with music for about 2 years. Had no interest in it. And it found its way back into my life. So I don't think that I necessarily chose it because it, keeps recurring in my life at certain times, at certain points. So I like to say it chose me. Each industry, each part of life, whether it's entertainment, business, finance, there is an art to the things that people do. Music just happened to be mine specifically because of my voice, because I've sang my whole life. And so I think that's, I could write, I could, just be a writer, but I do have a voice, so I'd like to use that. It was a God-given talent, so I'm going to use my talent. So that's part of the reason I chose, music. Outside of that, if I had known that what I was signing up for, maybe I would have chose fine art, or I don't know, maybe finance or something. I don't know. Just kidding. I don't want to do that. But it's not an easy industry to be a part of, but it feeds my soul, so to speak. It feeds my spirit. So that's why I chose music as my form of artistic expression. Right now, my sound is a mixture of pop and R&B and soul, with a little bit of Afro-Caribbean influence, just a pinch. And I think it took me a while to find my sound because I was influenced by so many different genres. And so as a writer, I've written pretty much every genre there is to write, and that made it a little bit more difficult for me to find my sound as an artist. But I feel like we live in an age now where an artist has the right and has the freedom to be a multi-genre artist. You don't have to just fit in one box. You can make a project with a bunch of with different genres and still have it be like a package and still have everything flow. So I think that's really cool about the time we're living in, because back in the day, like, if you were rock, stay in your lane. If you're R&B, stay in your lane. But now we can like merge, because of the internet, you know, we can merge so many different genres, and people's ears are so different because we have been exposed to so many different types of music through the magic of the internet. So I think that's really cool. And I know my sound is going to develop into something else moving forward. Like, I love different genres, so that's going to be reflected in my music moving forward. My biggest goal as an artist personally would be to, you know, one, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business, and so would love to be a regularly touring artist, because that is your bread and butter. That's how you connect with your fans, and in turn, that's where you make your money. And you know, the other philanthropic part of my journey in the industry, I would love to be able to host different songwriters retreats, or just creating opportunities for those who may not have otherwise gotten an opportunity, like myself. Like, Songland was I couldn't have dreamed of a better platform to, you know, show my talent to the world, you know. So those are some of the things that I would love to do if I were to like give back. I think it's important for those artists, you know, from home, from the VI specifically, to give back and to do what they can when they can. And I hope that, you know, with your help and with, you know, the platform helping me to reach a different audience, that I can use these tools to give back to my community. I think that programs like the Boys and Girls Club, you know, after school arts and dance, creative programs are important to keep kids out of trouble, to keep youth, to give them, you know, something to aspire to. And so I think that supporting those programs within the community, within the Virgin Islands community specific, is important for me personally. You won't admit it. You're scared. So I think the most difficult time for me was right before I actually got onto the show, which was in March. A lot of people didn't know, but I packed up my life in December 2018 and I left LA after 7 years and I moved to DC. I'm now in DC. So that part of the journey was very spiritual for me. It had been weighing on my spirit from about July, August, September, October. I finally left in December. I decided in November, like November 3rd, I remember. And so that was a decision that I had to make, and I think it was the best decision for me, because I don't think, if I was living in LA at the time, I was working like 3 jobs, and I, you know, was trying to finish my EP. So that's part of the reason I stayed, was because I wanted to finish the project, and it took me about a little bit over a year. And so I finished it, and I was like, okay, well, that's done. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want like this grind. I'm over it. And so I was like, okay, I'm leaving next month. And so I think that part of the journey was very like, everything was just go, 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 go. Work, go, 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 go. Studio, go, go, go. Like, everything was just go, go. And there was no time to decompress. So for me, that was like, I feel like that was a vital part of my journey to Songland. And I'm happy that I did. You know, it was a difficult time, but especially like waiting it out to see if I was gonna get on the show. Like I didn't know until like 2 days before I left to film that I was actually gonna be on the show. So I say all that to say, you know, just kind of stick it out, but listen to yourself. Like, you know what's best for you. So I think it's important for up-and-coming artists to read, learn as much as you can about this, about the music industry, because it is like, it's like your Georgia the jungle, but the jungle is like the Amazon. It's wild out here. And so I think it's important to learn. I think it's important to be strong mentally and emotionally and have a good core group of people around you. And those people should not only be positive and, you know, love you, but they should also be honest and call you out. Like you know, when you're doing some bullshit. They should be able to call you out. So I think that is important. I think mentorship is important. Find someone who's, I mean, it doesn't even have to be relating to music or whatever your industry is, but find someone who is like seasoned in life and someone who you can learn from. Those things are important because they'll help you not repeat the same mistakes that they made. If it is someone in your, you know, in your industry, then learn as much as you can from them. It doesn't have to be like a consultant-based relationship. Find someone who's genuinely interested in you and who, you know, sees your talent and wants to see you do well. Externally, I would say it's important to experience life and live life. I know as creatives, we are in our heads, you know, 200% of the time. We're our own worst enemies, but it's important to, like I said, have strong mental and emotional health. And it's important to live life and have experiences and read and learn about other cultures and travel and see the world and not be so close-minded. Everything is not for everyone, so if it's not for you, leave it alone. Let it be. But I think that it's important to just experience life, and that will show through your work. You know, if you've never experienced anything, I can't say that, because there are songwriters who have written like some of the best songs, and it's like a dichotomy. It's like, I'm gonna write a trap song, but I'm from the suburbs, like basically. So I can't say that, you know, write about what you know about, but write about what you've lived, you know, write about what you've seen or what you could imagine even if it's something that you don't have experience, research it, you know. Yeah, just learn as much as you can, read as much as you can. Like, reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. Stay in school, get an education, or teach yourself. Like, it's really that simple. All right, guys, so that is it for my quick Q&A. Thank you so much to RLD for having me. Thank you to Danny and Tariq. I hope you guys enjoyed and you learned a little bit more about me. Feel free to DM me, ask me any questions that you may have, and I hope you guys have a good one. Bye.